I'm Brian Davis for your Miami Hurricanes post-game recap. The Miami Hurricanes were humbled and were embarrassed Saturday night down at Marlins Park at the site of the old home of the Miami Orange Bowl in Miami Saturday night. They were beat by their crosstown rival Florida International University Panthers, known as FIU. They're about 10 minutes away from the campus of Miami University of Miami in Coral Gables, Florida, 10 minutes apart in the suburb of Miami. FIU defeats Miami in a stunning upset, 30-24. Miami was listed as 19 and a half point favorites, as they almost were a 3 touchdown favorite on Saturday night. And the Miami Hurricanes played probably in the 30 years of being a Miami Hurricanes fan and kind of more of being a side reporter in the 30 years being a fan, never probably one of the worst defeats in recent memory in this historic, proud program legacy. The Miami, the Panthers had dominated that game, and it was disturbing. The Miami Hurricanes were able to muster were only 1 of 10 out of 11 attempts in first downs, while FIU was 6 of 14 on third down conversions. Miami did get 26 first downs to the Panthers 17, but FIU did manage to get nearly 300 yards of total offense, but it was really the rushing attack of FIU. 137 yards rushing was the difference. Miami did have 164 rushing yards, but it was really the time of possession. Florida International dominated the time of possession. And looking at some of the stats, though, for the Panthers, James Morgan, 16 out of 30 for 160 yards. He threw for 2 touchdown passes. Anthony Jones, 11 carries for 112 yards, averaging an even 7 yards on the ground per run. Tony Gaither, 6 receptions for 82 yards, averaged 13.7 yards and a touchdown. And for the Hurricanes, Jaron Williams threw for 249 yards, 2 touchdowns, but he threw 3 interceptions. And not only losing the game, in addition, the Hurricanes lost running back DJ Dallas. He ended up lost with a serious arm injury. He left the game. It's very serious. He left the game, 9 carries for 50 yards, averaging 5.6 yards. That was a big loss for them. His status is unknown. Most likely he will not play against Duke next Saturday and possibly will not be playing in the bowl game. Most likely, all intents and purposes, his season is over. We will not know more with that yet until we get confirmed by Hurricanes head coach Manny Diaz in his Monday press conference. We'll check in more information on hurricanesports.com. Also having a great night, Will Mallory, 4 catches for 71 yards, averaging 17.8 yards a catch. Cameron Harris, 11 rushes for 86 yards, a touchdown, averaging 7.8 yards. And Mark Pope, 2 catches for 49 yards, averaging 55 yards or 5.5 yards in a touchdown. So with that loss, the Hurricanes now drop to 6-5, and that loss pretty much ends any hopes of the Hurricanes possibly playing Alabama in the Orange Bowl. Miami will be going to an Orange Bowl, or we'll be going to a bowl game, but after that putrid, horrendous, pathetic performance tonight, as we doing this taping against FIU, they will not be going to the Orange Bowl to play Alabama. In fact, the Miami Hurricanes are not even close to even being the talks of being participate in a major bowl game with that putrid performance on Saturday night. FIU with their win by former head coach Butch Davis for the current head coach by the Hurricanes head coach Butch Davis. They proved the 6-5. First time that FIU beats a Power 5 in its school history. And the Hurricanes will play their regular season finale 1 week from today. They will travel to Durham, North Carolina, to take on the Duke Blue Devils as their 3-game losing streak comes to an end. They will take on the Duke Blue Devils at the Duke Blue Devils at Brooks Field at Wallace Stadium in Durham, North Carolina. And that will be next Saturday in their regular season finale, the final game of the regular season schedule, as the Hurricanes will conclude their 2019 slate of the schedule. 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time will be the kickoff. Game will be seen on the Hurricanes flagship station, WMAQ 560 AM, as Joe Zazatsky will give you the play-by-play in action. That will be on the Hurricanes flagship, WQAM 560 AM, the home of Miami Hurricanes football. Latest news on Hurricanes football and athletics and so much more, go to hurricanesports.com. Once again, the final score Saturday night from Marlins Park in South Florida, right at the site of the old Orange Bowl. Miami Hurricanes fell in a stunning upset, maybe the upset of the year. They fall to FIU Panthers by a score of 30-24. I'm Brian Davis for your Miami Hurricanes post-game recap.